All right. So, in the last session, our party did some intelligence gathering and looked for allies, or at least people willing to look the other way while they did their job, and were somewhat successful. They gathered a few clues, but not necessarily the ones that they went looking for. And now they have gathered back at their ship and have to decide what to do next. So, the three of you are gathered in the lounge of the ship. The ship's got a sort of a little kitchen and a open crew rec room with some tables that also serves as something of a mess hall as appropriate. And your ship's engineer, Cyrulas, is cooking up some supper. It's about that time of day, and you folks are now deciding what to do.
Didn't we say that there's a bar set up in the mess?
Yes, there is one
Do
of
we have
those.
a map yet?
We do not have a map of the ship. Would you like me to make that a priority for the next session?
I mean, I'm not trying to dictate how you DM. I mean, it would just be kind of nice to have a visual.
Sure. I'll try and work on
I'm
that.
sure there's some freebies you can rip off somewhere.
Oh, I can actually do I think a decent job of designing a ship from scratch. We'll also kind of need to, since your ship is designed with a specific exterior.
Right.
But for the moment, the tables are about what you'd see at a normal restaurant booth size table. They are perhaps 5 feet long and between 2 and 3 feet wide, with seats on either side of them. The seats are currently bolted to the floor, as are the tables, though they can be unbolted. That's sort of as a matter of preference based on the fact that in under heavy heavy acceleration maneuvering, enough G-force can leak past the ship's compensators to cause things to slide around. That's not a bad approximation for now. And so, Cyrulas is vigorously cooking or attempting to cook. And you two are presumably sat at bar stools, sipping at something alcoholic or not, depending on your preference. What is your preference at this point in the day?
Whiskey.
Yeah, I probably got something brown and on the rocks.
All right. So, whiskey is absolutely a thing. Still very much, and a lot of varieties of Earth whiskey are alive and quite well in this century. Oh my God. Give me 1 second. I was just opening the PDF that I wanted, and for some reason, the round of Windows updates I did forced a change such that it opened in Edge.
Nice.
Which had no narrative more important than fixing that abomination. But with the threat of, we'll do it. I'm gonna do that later.
Maybe unplug and replug your headset while you're at it.
It's
Oh, okay.
Bluetooth.
You sounded clear then. You sounded clear.
Give me 1
then,
second.
So.
Oh, okay. Yep. So, let's find page 439. Yes, very good. All right, so, what is, let's see. Very good. So I will want you to kind of keep me apprised whenever you're drinking alcohol of how much in total you're drinking, on about like an hourly basis. The reason is that there's actually a nice simple mechanic for drinking and tracking drunkenness. So if you're going to drink regularly, more than, one drink, not an issue. Your threshold is what a single hour in which you consume more than 1/4 of your strength. So for those of you with a strength of 11 to 12, if you drink three drinks in an hour or more, then we have to
this begs the question
check.
Like, does it track ounces?
Yeah.
Because a shot is about 16 ounces, I think.
It is one drink with, and I've done the math on this myself before, unrelated to GURPS, but a glass of wine, a pint, or more commonly like a short pint of beer, or a shot of spirits actually have just about the same amount of alcohol in them.
But like a shot of whiskey and a glass of whiskey,
and it's not super scientific
amounts of alcohol.
So, I would imagine that if you're having, a whiskey glass with some ice and something in it, you're probably having the equivalent of like 1.5, maybe 2 drinks.
But the water from the ice is diluting it too, so there's that.
That's still alcohol.
Yeah, right, but still, the idea is how much are you consuming, not necessarily how much other beverages is going with.
Well, I'm not exactly pounding them.
Same.
So I'm probably just nursing the one.
So basically, if you drank 2 of those, big, like whiskey glass with ice and something strong, something strong on the rocks, then you would have to make a health roll or a carousing roll to
hold your
manage, to maintain your, and then you progress along the steps of sober to tipsy to drunk to unconscious, a drunken stupor, to a coma.
Damn.
So that's basically how it works. And tipsy and drunk have the same penalties to almost all IQ and Dex rolls, except those to resist fear of any sort. But the penalties are more severe for the drunk status as compared to the tipsy status. So that little aside completed, just mentioning a rule as it comes into our peripheral vision. You have each sitting there with a drink, and your engineer, who's also sometimes a cook of sorts, is cooking. And now you're having a discussion. Sirulas starts out as you folks are just starting to kind of sip and savor your drinks. So, offhand, here's the clues that we have that I'm aware of. we saw multiple sorts of signs of funny business going on in the casino, but we couldn't find anywhere specific in the casino that we should investigate more closely, as far as I'm aware.
I didn't bring my gear in, so I couldn't really go all in, and I had some eyes on me.
Right. That's the other thing we noticed, is that there's security, they're vigilant, and so the casino is indeed going to be a somewhat difficult nut to crack. Now, we saw a very suspicious truck enter the parking facility at the casino that we suspect might be involved in the smuggling operation. And if you could find that vehicle and follow it inconspicuously, it might lead us to somewhere worth going. And we know that these smuggled goods come off planet and are taken somewhere else in system here.
Mm-hmm.
So, in theory, we could arrange an intercept and boarding of one of those ships. We could also try and go directly, more brazenly, to get at Yasef Khan, but I think we're feeling less confident that might work the way we want it to after being inside the casino and looking around.
So much more information. Like, there's probably it's how I would do it if I were in that kind of position, but some kind of like interconnected tunnel underneath. But I would need weeks to case this place.
Give me a quick. Why don't you give me a quick soldier check?
Okay, let me.
Or streetwise. Streetwise would work.
I don't know where I put either of those. There's a streetwise. Why not soldier? That's 1 point higher. Okay.
Yeah.
Streetwise. Oh, those are high. 13, failure by 3.
All right. Yeah. You definitely feel like there's a lot of information to gather here, and you would require a lot of time to gather it all yourself, especially working from outside the casino organization. It's not like you're an insider in any way, able to legitimately go to places. If you're trying to do it yourself, it's going to take a long time and some risks. Not impossible, but
yeah, sucks for me.
A bit.
And I met with the investigator, playing it a little close to the vest.
Cool.
Yeah, she's playing it close to the vest. I didn't really get a whole lot from her. We basically came to an agreement that she'll keep the police out of our hair as long as we don't step on their toes. Essentially is what it came down to. I've got a code word for calling in to signal them that we've got something juicy that they could work with their investigation, but she didn't really offer up anything in the way of assisting us with ours. Basically,
I would argue that, from what I've heard, just offering to get out to agreeing to not get in your way is quite a lot of cooperation for the locals here.
true,
even if it
but
isn't
we
very
don't
important.
know what they qualify as stepping on their toes either. So I'm starting to think. Well, I started to think a while ago, but I'm more convinced now that quietly intercepting one of their ships is probably going to be the safest course of action.
I
Risky
have
as that
one
may be.
piece of information that
Mm.
I picked up that I should probably share before we make too many
Mhm.
of our plans. And it's got to do with how the local government works. So there's so this Yakutsk city here has a government. It's an elected government, but the only people who can vote are those who own land or hold a license to practice a business in the city. Because it's a star town, they didn't want to have issues with star town voters. It's a common attitude. So they have power here in the city. They have their local police force. However, that force's jurisdiction ends at the city limits. And there is no planetary government. Instead, there's just a they call it the one moment, I'm trying to remember what the word they used was. The planetary chamber of commerce.
Chamber of Secrets.
Which is essentially a lot of plutocrats.
Alright. Be right back. Googling. Okay.
It's businessmen. This Yasith Khan is one of the 3 most influential members of this Chamber of Commerce.
Above
And
table is
they
basically some
more-
Wild West shit.
They more or less arrange to run things outside of the city. The exceptions being all the various small towns and other such communities that might have their own aldermen or mayors or councils or whatnot that are engaged in all sorts of low-level power struggles with Chamber of Commerce organizations. It's so if we think that some of these smuggled goods are coming in from outside the city, as we do, and we can pick up one of those vehicles after, as it's dropping off its goods and follow it outside of town, we can get outside of the local police force jurisdiction. At which point, as near as I can tell, as long as we don't create too big of a mess, like roadside bombings and the like, then we should be able to do as we like. Up to and potentially including highway robbery, if the stories I've heard are true. So, if we want to stay on planet, we have options that way. That's what I found out while you were looking around in the casino.
Okay.
Livia.
Well, that certainly beats jumping from ship to ship and
Oh,
back
I
in
was gonna
space.
say, I'm
It's a
not
bit less fun.
I'm not terribly well
Yes.
versed in spacing. I'm much more comfortable with boots on ground.
Has the upside, as compared to the space operation from where I stand, it has the advantage of being, you know, in an planetary atmosphere on the ground, and the disadvantage of the whoever we try to stop being able to call for help. If we're in space, they can try to call for help, but it will take a long time for help to get
Oh, I
there.
don't have jamming equipment, I don't think. Yeah, I don't think that's something I considered.
Luckily, if we can take the ship with us, the ship is more than capable of jamming most portable, ground vehicle or individually carried communication systems. She says, and I may have professional experience in doing that.
Okay.
So we have options. She returns to. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, taking the ship out of the city would make for a lighter docking bill anyway.
But we could also try and secure some more equipment if there's anything we have in mind, either here on the planet's surface or back up at the space station before we head out into the countryside. We'd want to have some idea what sort of vehicle we're looking for, though. I'm wondering, does anyone have a tracking bug of some sort?
Absolutely.
It would need to be something that can be, that doesn't transmit continuously, but only transmits when prompted. Because if they're concerned about being surveilled or followed, they're going to check for, for active signals before they set off. But if we can get this ship into, find a vehicle, plant a tracker inconspicuously on it, and then get this ship into space, we could monitor where the vehicle goes from space. And then land on the planet and do what we want there. That is the best framework for the recommendation I can offer.
Livy is on her little wrist-mounted computer on blackmarket.com and frowning at how expensive jammers are.
Blackmarket.com.
Yeah.
Let's see here. I've got.
And also, they're all so short range. It's like, damn. I guess that's all I would need if we rolled up on a caravan. It's like they're all like 10.
By its nature, effective jamming is pretty short-ranged as compared to a similar piece of equipment used to just send a signal, because you've got to transmit on a lot of different frequencies with very high intensity. to drown out other signals.
I've got a handful of homing beacons that only transmit when we send a coded signal to it.
I got a recon drone, but that's... I mean...
That's
yeah.
still a useful tool, because what if you locate a vehicle and then try to approach the situation, being able to scout first with the drone as you actually approach the site could be very helpful.
Well, depending on what we're doing, if we're catching people on the road, I'm going to go all in and like really gear up. And it'll give me an excuse to use a different picture.
That would be an idea. But you're not ready that yet. Because you don't currently have, like, there's a fair amount of truck traffic in and out of the city.
Okay.
So you need to find what vehicles you're going to, find a vehicle to follow that you think is likely or definitely involved in the smuggling operation.
So, the investigator, Tam Yi Yong, gave me the code word. Did she also happen to provide me with any contact information for her directly?
Yes, she did.
Okay. I'd like
She
to...
gave you an unlisted number, unlisted communications number to call, with which to use that signal if needed.
Okay. I'm going to send a text to that, with that number, indicate that it's me, and ask if, like if there are, what the trucks, ask about the trucks, and if there are any like identifying markers or behaviors, as well as including our observation that one particular truck that we observed was sitting a little low to the ground.
What? I don't think she needs that information yet. Because the response is going to be like, okay, question mark. We don't need to update every little step of our own investigation. Obviously Olivia wasn't there, but from what I heard, it's like, oh god, I'm trying to remember. The vibe was more akin to if you have something actionable, then send that information to us.
That was for the code word.
Okay.
This is more of a direct contact to her, and yeah, I'll just ask about incoming and outgoing trucks from the facility.
Okay. Let's see. Let's make a quick roll.
Do you need my savoir-faire?
Nope. I'm just checking on... You've already established your rapport as what it is. Okay. And I'm just checking what she knows and how willing she is to be doing with it, to volunteer it. She says, she replies back, there isn't any business by that name with a license to operate in the city, as far as I can tell. If you want to investigate it, I'll wait. It's after hours today, so if you want to get on it, I will... No, let me finish. Let me finish what she says, and then we'll get back to you. Because she's replying via text. So, it happens, I happen to be off duty at the moment, so you have until I start duty tomorrow morning to investigate and do whatever you feel is appropriate under your warrant before local law enforcement gets involved. But I'd say that's very likely. That van is very likely to be up to something.
So the reason I was trying to interrupt is because I didn't want you to waste your time with that, because there was clearly a miscommunication.
Yeah.
I wasn't as I was following Livia's advice and not asking about that specific truck, but instead falling back on what I was originally saying.
Okay. So what she will say then is, there. Sorry, I think I'm putting two and two together on where I assumed and where we didn't. So you're gonna ask her about suspicious trucks
that they've already identified.
Right. So she's gonna say, so she doesn't reply for about 20 minutes, and then she gets back to you with a long reply, and it goes like this: I'm off duty, but as far as I can tell, traffic enforcement has issued a number of citations to unlicensed business vehicles in that area of Startown. However, that hasn't ever been referred to my office to do anything with, so officially, I don't know anything else to tell you. Message ends. Second message. Speaking strictly anecdotally, just as a hypothesis, I suspect that there's definitely an operation involving those vehicles in and out of Yak City. We don't know what ship are moving the goods, because that's in the hands of the Transportation and Orbital Bureau operating out of the station. We don't know specifically what trucks might be involved, because that's in the hands of traffic enforcement. However, I will be unable to officially report anything that you have discovered until I return to work tomorrow morning. So, if you want to get busy tonight, nobody will likely be able to act one way or another on any investigation that you do. Is that clear at all, what she's getting at?
Yeah, I reply a copy of that. Thanks.
Great.
Livia, how's your
All right.
hacking skills?
Not bad. Usually like 11 or 12. She says in character. I'm kidding. If I could put a numeric value on it.
At zero.
Computer.
I got a faceplate, so every look I give Zero is just deadpan.
So, yeah, 11. And I have some chips that are generally, most of them are at 12.
So yeah, I relay that information. You know, there's a number of trucks that she can't readily identify because there have been citations in another department that we may want to recover in some way. And she implied that there's a good chance that now is a good time to try to get that information while everybody's, you know, either not there or running a minimum crew at the station. So I posit the question to Lydia.
Cyrulos notes, just might be as time as any to go back to the the parking garage and inspect that specific truck as well, for the same reason. Police presence is going to be less senior people, easier to push around if need be. And maybe we can get a window to look at that truck. Either way is an option.
Do you want to split again?
What would you need to do to hack this, databases with local traffic enforcement, Livia?
I have my skill chip here.
Right. So, in addition, basically, your skills are most of what you need. The other missing component would be some way to access that department's computer system.
Yeah.
And the fewer firewalls, and being able to actually one of their on-site terminals would be the easiest. Would make the hacking at least easier. It might also make the getting to and getting away harder, but you'd have some number of fewer layers of firewalls to get through.
Yeah, so I
to get
would
what
need
you
access
want.
to their office. However, when I had a team, I had a face man that would like schmooze his way through an office, and she makes a general like hand gesture to her face because she looks like this, and she's like, I'm not really like approachable.
Are you stealthy?
Very.
So what if the captain and I arranged some sort of diversion or set of diversions at the dispatch center for local traffic, the local traffic enforcement department, and then you use that as cover to try and sneak into somewhere?
That would be helpful.
I think that, as far as I can tell, that falls into the realm of what I can contribute. I don't know what the captain wants to do, though.
Sounds good to me, but you'd have to take point. I wouldn't know what to say. I'm not into making diversions. I'm into clearing them up.
Are you any good at lying?
Fast talk.
Not exactly.
Do you have the fast talk skill?
No, I do not.
Damn.
Okay. All right. Then.
Oh, I do.
Yeah, you do.
Not helpful.
And yeah, not helpful in this situation. However, what else? If you're not there,
There it is.
what else?
I was like, where's my stealth suit? And it's in my nano weave.
There's another thing we could try. If we can find a police vehicle, like traffic enforcement vehicle, some patrol vehicle of some sort, and just like knock out the officer without raising a ruckus and without getting identified, we might be able to get what we need via the terminal in his patrol car.
Well, of all three of us, you are probably the most generic.
You have stun weapons, don't you, Captain?
Yes.
And you're good at using them?
More or less.
So what if we arrange for me to get pulled over somewhere on my bike? Like, I set someone up to pull me over somewhere. And you are waiting, and Livia are waiting in ambush. Then you shoot the police officer and knock them out. Livia does their hacking, and then we split. I bet I could even find a rental vehicle or something, well, something I could borrow cheaply so that my own motorcycle isn't involved in any police records.
I'm very good at ducking into alleyways and such.
Alright, I can do this. I'm going to we'll need to get started quite quickly. I would propose that we try the same alleyway where we had our little shootout the other day, just because it's close by and seemed inconspicuous with lots of
No, that's a good call, because there might be a police squad there as well to try to, like...
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I was going to say, it might be inconspicuous if it hasn't already been designated a crime scene.
Whereupon the DM realizes that this really would have been a good reason to not erase that map about 3 weeks ago.
I got a question above table.
Yeah.
And this is kind of a question on Livia's behalf. How does because we both got computers in our brain. Hers is a little more sophisticated.
But also a bit less any less extensive, actually. Go ahead.
I'm just curious how they work. Like, theoretically, would Livia physically need to be in front of a terminal, or does she have the software to simply tap into their network physically from
That's a question of complexity. If mine's higher than theirs, possibly.
So, you have the same TL of computers that they do. Do you have a cybernetic radio communicator of any sort?
I have a small radio communicator, and no, it's in my bag.
Okay. So, for security reasons, for not being hacked yourself reasons, currently your computer doesn't have wireless connectivity with other devices. You have to physically plug something in, and you got a little socket for that, and that's all well and good. But what it means is that in this case, you would have to physically access the thing
that makes sense
in mind.
Right, and that's kind of what I'm getting at. So Livia could theoretically physically connect to the network from a concealed location without necessarily being in front of a computer terminal.
No, they would need to be to reach. Okay, so Livia doesn't have the ability to wirelessly connect to computer networks.
Didn't say wireless.
Right. Which means that in order to access a computer, she's going to have to be either physically in front of it or wired into it somehow.
I don't have a problem with this. Y'all knock out a cop, I hop in the
Okay.
passenger seat, and I just wire into the thing. I'm totally cool with this.
Yeah, okay. I might be overthinking it, so we can move on.
Yeah, in order to do what you're picturing, where she's like, up on the top of a building and connects without ever having to get down by the car, she would need to add to her suite of cybernetics basically a communicator like you have.
I think I
integrated into
remember in
yourself.
character creation you discussed that with me, and I'm like, I don't want my brain to explode. And I think that's kind of
Right.
I
That's
went
what you
against
said.
it.
For reasons of safety, of not being able to be hacked
Yeah.
yourself, you opted not to have that as a thing. It means that you have to either physically get somewhere or have someone haul a cable to connect you there.
Yeah.
But or at least like haul like a Bluetooth dongle or something.
I think I can do it.
But
we can move on.
it's so sorry, that was I think you understand. I'm just, I guess, trying to make sure that Lex understands what I'm getting at, understands the answer to his question, and make sure that I've answered his question. So Lex, do you feel like you've been answered and that the answer makes sense?
Close enough to the answer that I was looking for.
Okay. All right. Then, without further ado,
Let's break into a cop car.
um, yeah, we're gonna try and kind of raid the cops in a way. So, I think, unless a fight actually breaks out, that this can be done theater of the mind. Especially if somebody wants to pull up a map for your own reference, pull up, I don't know, a screenshot out of our first session. For which it would sure be convenient if the entire sessions were on YouTube or something.
Alright, I'm picking up what you're putting down.
That means, so you can get some sense of where you are. You folks are planning to be situated. Do you want to be situated on a rooftop or on the ground in an alley?
Well, since my stun function is a pistol, I think it would probably be more to my benefit if I was on the ground, a little bit closer to where everything's going to go down.
All right. Then,
There it is.
Sirulas heads back to her vehicle and tinkers for a couple of minutes. She does not say what it is she's done, but she heads off. She also gets rid of some of her, changes some of her clothes, turns her jumpsuit inside out, and puts it back on, and heads out on the street to try and pick up a cop.
Oh, there it is.
She is waiting for your folks' signal to say that you're ready before she tries to reel someone in. And how are you folks going to be equipped for this? Make up your mind real
I've
quick.
already-
If you're,
I'm doing.
not like, oh, there's a time limit, but just give us some quick thought about how heavily armed you want to be.
She's really just got she's got all her chip slots back. Because when going into the casino, she put a lot of stuff away. But really, it's just she got her gun, her boots, her all her chips are now available. That's it. She's going stealth mode. She's not going.
You're just at street you're on street mode again.
Yeah, I still don't have a whole lot of extras, so I'm still carrying everything I need.
Are you wearing the clamshell?
Yeah, I might as well, just in case.
Okay. All right.
Not that I'm planning on getting in a firefight with a cop, but.
Mm-hmm. But you are planning to shoot one, so.
Yeah.
All right. Well, here's the scheme. So first, I want a observation roll and a stealth roll. The observation roll can come from either one of you. You just have to let me know who's got the best observation or wants to.
I would like to make a note while he does his observation roll. I am going to activate my my stealth and chameleon stuff. I don't have any details on how long it lasts, but I assume it's like a battery pack. It might last an hour, 4 hours. I don't know.
Shit.
All right, so that's a failure by 2 on observation. Go ahead and give me the stealth ones.
9.
And then I'm gonna go look up the answer to your question.
My stealth has definitely succeeded. I need to look up by how much. Raw stealth success by 3 on my end, but that's without all the pluses and minuses from my chameleon. I'm just really trying to sneak next to a cop car, and I'm just kind of dodged behind the engine on the opposite side, passenger side.
Chameleon surf. All right. So yours is what? Is it thermo-optic or multi?
I think multi-spectral.
All right. So I don't have a. Battery life.
It just says +8 to stealth skill against ordinary. Yeah, I mean you're probably looking at the same thing I am. There's no duration on any of it.
No, it is. It has to be on something that you've already got. You got to have power available to it, but its power drain is pretty negligible because it's not like an LED screen surface. Think of it a bit more like e-ink. The sorts of Kindles or whatever, those ebook readers, but a really highly advanced one of those, where it's setting what's intended to be a mostly static surface, and it can update. You can vary that, but it lags behind real time just a little bit, which is why it's less effective when moving. But it has no energy drain whatsoever once it's set, and if you don't move, so something like that. So you have, with that, a ludicrously high success. Success by 11. Now, how did the captain's stealth go?
Oh, you wanted one from me too?
Yes. You're also hiding.
Oh boy.
Yeah, that's on brand.
Fuck.
All right.
And there's nothing that Livia can do, signal, hey.
No.
Here,
however,
duck there.
However, how I intend to try and handle group checks in GURPS is to take the margin of success or failure and net it out. So you had a failure by 5. Livia had a success by
11.
8, or by 11. So that nets to success by 6, which is still a success. So your group stealth check
I'm giving
is a
it
success.
pointers you stay behind this corner, and so I don't know, shit like that.
Mm-hmm. Because it sucks if the parties can only ever be as stealthy as the least stealthy person. Whether or not this is realistic, this is how it's fun, so it's what we do. Now, you folks are hidden and the captain gives the signal. And then let's see how long it takes for Marula to pick up a cop. Not long at all. So, and how can does she do it? String them along. Oh, actually pretty well. All right. So, it's only about 3 minutes later, about 3 minutes after you give your signal, that you start, hearing the sirens and seeing the lights going around from a patrol vehicle. Now, most of these vehicles do resemble common Earth, vehicles, but worth noting, they are not running on internal combustion engines, at least not here in the city. There are some places where they would still be using internal combustion, but hydrogen is abundant, and the same reactor technology that's used to operate spaceships can work at much smaller scales and is usually used as the vehicle power plant anywhere that has access to TL9 or higher. So, these vehicles are quite quiet and don't have a noxious gasoline exhaust smell, but otherwise look, and for most practical purposes, behave like normal Earth vehicles. So, coming down the street, Marula pulls over, and a policeman jumps out of his vehicle. He's got one hand on his service weapon as he walks around the front bumper. You give me a perception, a vision roll, okay, Livia, to find out.
They always come with. They always have partners.
And I'm gonna where I'm at. Now, granted, I'm not in a large city, but where I'm at, it is at least as common as not for there not to be a partner in the vehicle.
Success by 4.
No, they
not as. I imagine that's simply where I am. I'm not in a inner city area.
There's always 2 person per patrol.
Yep. So,
success by 4.
What do you have on your vision? The second policeman is standing up, but staying back by the vehicle.
Okay. Can I text that to both Siru and Lex?
You are able to point that out to Lex without making a sound.
Signal.
Kind of poke his elbow and point, and he sees them both. Now, you chose to be on the ground, and down a relatively narrow alley to minimize visibility. That means that from where you're standing, given where the Marula pulled over, you're only going to be able to see one of them at a time unless you step out of the alley. How do you want to play this?
Visuals would really help. I'm sorry, but I need to see.
Right.
I need to see the map.
Well, then we are going to break for a few minutes while I build a map.
I posted the old one, the best vision I could get on the video.
Yep. But it will take some time for me to set that up. But we will break for that. Tokens. All right, so
I'll record again because we're in placement mode.
Here, those tokens. She's over here. Lex, Olivia are down here. And I need... Don't worry, I'll turn the fan off before we go to these other stuff, but... let's see.
Did Livia indicate
Acid.
whether or not she's got any
I do
stunning
not.
type weapons?
I'm pretty lethal. I've got my monowire back on.
Should have bought you a stun gun instead of that submachine gun.
Well,
I can kneecap. That's a type of stun. They're not going anywhere.
doodle the vehicles real quickly. So, still working on the tokens layer so I can move around.
I have control of my character.
Would I be in front of you? I would think I would be.
Then, oh, that's too long though. I need to shrink it.
That's not what she said.
Lobster, too buttery.
No, actually, you would be back behind Livia, because Lex, the order of operations is Lex has to shoot somebody and then you get out.
Okay.
And then we have a vehicle here. So, guy 1 who's walking that way, guy 2 who's next to their vehicle, standing back here. So, in order to, you can get either one of them from within the alley, but in order to get both of them as they are walking forward, you're gonna have to step out a bit.
Well,
so,
here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking I take out the guy at the car and let Ciro's training kick in when the guy approaching her gets distracted by the noise and turns around. And I want to communicate that to Livia using, where do I have it? My gesture skill.
sure, give me a gesture check.
Versus my intelligence to know what the hell you're talking about. Okay, yeah.
Okay, Lex is just barely, under the circumstances, going to be able to communicate that via gesture. There is a bit of a penalty.
Here's
for
the problem.
for the
Does
situation.
Ciro know what the plan is here?
Nope.
She's a soldier.
So-
She'll understand when the shit goes down.
Okay.
So, things now start
can I-
happening very fast. We are going to move into combat time.
I would
Go
like
ahead.
to do an if-then thing. If he's going for the one in the car, if Ciro is like confused, I would like to like run up to that one next to her and like do my judo or something and like knock him out.
So we'll address
Okay.
this in combat time, where you'll get to make a
Okay, fair
decision
enough.
as it goes. So, let's set up a turn order. On the first round, you folks will be able to act. Go ahead and
+1 to
how was I
initiative
gonna do
rolls for
this
my
for
side.
initiative? Right. So,
I don't know if I'm the leader. I don't know if I get that +2 or not.
you are not.
I
Lex
figured.
is the leader in this situation.
I figured.
And once again, we are in that awkward situation that the DM tries to figure out how to make and how to handle initiative well in GURPS, because it's kind of sucks. So, what we're gonna do?
Didn't we base it off of our speed last time?
Yeah, it's you use your basic speed.
But that would mean like everybody has 6 or 5 roughly.
It would mean that, yeah, a lot of people act always at the same time in initiative. Or at least always at the same time relative to each other, which one of the enjoyable things about initiative in D&D is that it is it's variable. So what we're gonna do you're gonna roll 3d6, and your target number is gonna be your basic speed plus any bonuses from combat reflexes and the like.
What is?
And we're gonna go in order who fails, who succeeds or fails by the most or least.
Okay, I have.
So your basic speed.
I have combat reflexes, but I don't know where. There it is.
So remember that thing you were just quoting?
Yeah.
That +1 for everyone on your initiative for everyone on your side. That includes you. That's what that's about.
Okay.
That's from combat reflexes. So what you'll do is roll 3d6, and your target is equal to 1 plus your basic speed. And the same will go for everybody else in the party.
So I got a 10.
And you'll Okay. Now what's your basic speed?
6.
Okay. So 10 against a 7, that's a failure by 3. And 5.75. So Lex ordinarily would be acting a little after you. In this first round, he's going to get to act first, but then he's going to fall behind you from here.
When we fall into initiative.
Yeah. So, while I set this up, rather than trying to put numbers here, we're just kind of figuring out a sequence and we're rolling from there. So, Lex, Olivia, Stirulas did actually not roll super well.
That's weird because,
so she's after all of you. She just didn't roll very well.
Is combat reflexes a skill?
It's an advantage, a 15 point.
It does a lot. It's really strong.
It's also worth 15 points, which is also quite a lot. And let me check the cops. Ooh, that guy's snap reflexes. And that guy is not doing so well. So, first round, Lex is going to get to act first, despite the way the initiative looks. So Lex, go ahead and take your action.
I'm gonna laser this guy and try to stun him.
Okay. So you're gonna take a step as part of an attack action.
Right. And I get the and I don't know if you would require some kind of like roll for this. I feel like Lex would get the impression that Livia would want to move, be on the move immediately as soon as this goes down. So I'm getting kind of low as I'm taking my shot.
Sure. No, that's permitted. Crouching as part of a step is also permitted.
Okay.
So you take a step and crouch and shoot. What's the rate of fire on your stun setting?
That was going to be my next question. It is 3.
3. All right. That means you can fire 3 times.
Okay.
This isn't automatic, so you'll be rolling each one as a separate attack.
I see.
How many times do you want to shoot?
I'm not sure how the damage for this works a little bit differently than a lethal weapon.
Right. It's an affliction where they'll
Right.
make a roll at a penalty that their damage resistance helps with,
I see.
and if they fail, they're afflicted with a condition.
Okay. I'm only going to fire twice because I want to be sure that he goes down, but I don't want to necessarily like burn through it in case I need to like fire. Anyway, I'm gonna fire off twice.
Sure. All right. Well, go ahead and give me 2 attack rolls.
Don't know if this is gonna work properly because this is imported with JavaScript. So do 2. Actually, I'm only gonna do 1 and then do it separate. Okay, that's 1.
Yep. And then what's the recoil? 1? All right. So your next roll is at a -1.
Oh, I can actually put a -1 up here in the
Damn
modifier.
fly.
Damn.
All right. 1 hit, 1 miss. So, is surprised and does not get an active defense. So, you rolled, you missed once and you hit once. Now, go ahead and what is the damage of that weapon?
HT -4.
Oh,
I forgot what the
yeah,
2 in
come on.
parentheses mean.
Armor divisor of 2.
Yeah, armor
And what
divided
that
by
means is his armor gets to give him a bonus equal to half of its damage resistance. So he is wearing a light protective jacket. So he's going to get a +3 against his. So he's going to roll at HT -1, and he fails. So, what affliction does that afflict him with? Electrolaser.
Yeah.
All right.
I've got
Affliction.
I've got it in the details of my heavy rainbow laser.
Mhm.
Oh, I thought I did. It's
If
just
it fails to resist, the shock stuns him.
okay.
So if all right, so he is stunned. And he can make a fresh HT roll every turn at the same penalty, but without the DR bonus to recover. So you shoot
it's-
twice.
Mm-hmm.
Go for
So
it.
are you saying it's going to be harder for him to recover than it was to just resist it in the first place?
That's correct.
Interesting.
That's correct.
And
And that is your turn.
okay.
Unless you want to whip around and and fire your third shot,
I
or
might
just
as well.
shoot him a third time.
I'll go for the the other guy. Just might as well. So that's a -2.
Sure, go for it. Yes. And I am going to assess an additional small penalty for doing that sort of 180 spin to try and shoot him. But go ahead and give me the roll.
Nope.
Okay. That misses. All right. Livia,
Yeah,
your turn.
I remembered something that I can only like move 1 step and do any attack. So I think my play here.
So, yeah.
First of all, can I do a very minor retcon of she pulls up her mask, and that's it?
I was assuming your mask was
all
pulled
right,
up.
cool,
Yes.
cool. That's all.
That
After
hiding,
that, I
yes.
really just kind of wanted to like
So-
bum rush this person and prepare like a judo kick kind of thing. I haven't done any melee
Sure.
yet,
Give
so I
me
don't
an-
know if I can.
So, yes. What are you're attempting to do? What are you trying to
So-
accomplish then? Knock them over?
I want to do
Like, what do you want to do? What do you
kind of a non-lethal disabling, like. So, let me. Sorry, I have a lot of windows going on. Close range combat.
Mhm.
The Salat systems aim to quickly incapacitate an opponent by targeting vulnerable vital areas like liver, ribs, and neck. So she's going for like a flurry of blows type thing. Like, punch, punch, punch.
All right, so you're taking all-out
Yeah.
attack. Looking to. All right. So one of the upsides of all-out attack is that you can move up to your full movement towards an enemy
Oh.
without suffering penalties when you all-out attack. You can charge someone while attacking
Okay.
with full effectiveness. Now, there are a few different ways you can all-out attack. You were looking to just attack multiple
Yeah,
times.
like a flurry of blows type situation.
All right, so you can make, if I'm reading correctly, 2 different attacks. And you're just trying to punch him?
Yeah.
Just deal some damage? Okay.
It looks like I'm going for a
All right.
12, if I'm reading this correctly.
Yeah.
Alright.
If that's what your skill is,
That's for the natural attacks.
what's your judo?
My judo for throwing says 10, but that's a different thing. I'm not throwing him.
That's like grappling, basically.
Give me 1 second.
Sure.
Just give me 1 second. I have a fly that has been harassing me incessantly for the last several minutes, and I'm going to take a second and try and kill it so I can concentrate.
Fly episode?
Have you tried Shoe Fly Don't Bother Me?
No, because he's been talking to us. So we know he hasn't.
Only way to communicate effectively to flies is through force. Violence is the only language they understand.
That actually kind of works. Playing GURPS with somebody. Oh, no, it doesn't. There's an extra syllable.
No, it's the same number of syllables. I belong
Oh,
to
okay.
somebody. Play in GURPS with somebody.
All right. Now, fly resolved. So, you're looking to use judo. All right. And you're hoping to get in an attack. So,
Like, I don't know what boosts my, like, natural attacks over here.
give me 1 second. All right.
Usually scrolling over tells me, but it's not.
All right. So you have grappling skills. So judo is primarily a grappling skill. Boxing, brawling, and karate are primarily striking skills. So
Oh.
to do a grapple, the idea would be that you attempt to, to use one action
I've
to
got an
attempt to
idea.
grapple, rolling against your grappling skill to hit. If your foe can defend normally, only in this case he's surprised. And then if you successfully hit, you're holding on to him, and you can do other things with your second attack, including such things as a takedown, or a throw. Since you're using judo, judo has a special option there.
I have an idea.
Are there
So,
any conveniently
yeah, what do you wanna do?
placed human-sized ice boxes or dumpsters nearby?
Anyway.
There is a dumpster down the street you were in, down the alley you were in, or no, not down the alley you were in. That alley across from you does have a dumpster in it.
Okay, anyway, so I don't know how this idea works in the action economy. I may only be able to do half of it. I might be able to do both things. So you're gonna have to let me know. But like the first grapple action could be her grabbing the back of his neck and starting to hold him in place, and then just doing an elbow strike into his jaw to like kind of knock him out. I don't know what that would look like.
Okay, so to try and do the elbow strike is not a judo.
I know, but I have a punch
attack.
here.
But yes,
the first
you
thing
can
is
punch. So the first thing you're attempting to do is grapple him. All right. So I want a judo roll, please.
Don't fuck me, dice. Okay, good. That's a 9. That's a success by 2.
All right. Because he is surprised, he does not resist. You have him grappled at the moment.
Do I still have any action economy for that elbow strike, or is that going to come next round?
You do, because you took extra attack. So, you can attempt to choke or strangle him if you want, and that would allow you to use your strength and just try and suffocate him. You could attempt to put a chokehold on him, because you do have judo, which attempts to incapacitate someone without crushing the throat or torso. You could attempt to where was that going? See chokehold, page 404. Come on. Sorry, I'm having to go between sections because some of these specifics got moved out of grappling and into other combat actions, which means I have to go find them.
Did you say page 404?
Yep.
I can't find it.
I did, though. All right. So you are grappling your victim from behind, and then you could roll at... yeah, okay. So if you choose to put him in a chokehold, on your next turn, and on each turn thereafter until they break free, your victim loses a fatigue point, as if he were being strangled. So once he hits 0, he'll become unconscious. If you wish, you may also choke him for crushing damage at the same time and get a +3 to strength for this purpose. So if you want to just try and knock him out, probably putting him in a judo chokehold from behind is your way to go.
That's what I want to do.
Okay, so I need one more. Actually, so what this is going to do then is, instead of making 2 attacks, you're making one. You're still going all-out attack, but you're choosing the accurate option. So you get a big bonus to your roll. You've already made the roll, and you've made it hit by enough to succeed. And you had to use both hands to do this. So you have both hands busy, but you have this guy in a chokehold.
Cool.
From behind.
I need to learn some base karate.
I imagine she's, for the few viewers that we might have, she's essentially using a variant of like pencak silat, which is a Indonesian, Malaysian martial art. Because it's cool looking and I like it.
Yeah. So, that is your turn. You have moved up behind this policeman and are suffocating him.
Yippee! Not to death.
Then, right. Then Sirlas is gonna try and decide how to react to this situation, and she is less likely to do what she did last time because she knows this is coming. All right, so she is going to... She's going to run past you and try to shove the other. He's gonna try and duck in here and shove that guy to the ground.
Nice.
Because he's stunned, and because he's being essentially tased, his brain is a little bit scrambled at the moment, but he could still
Snap out of it? Question mark.
come to, well, he can still be somewhat aware of what's going on, and you don't want him to remember any good detail, have gotten more than a glimpse
True.
of his assailants. So she's going to go ahead and just attack him, make a slam attack or shove attack using her. Here. Shove. She's gonna be 2.
I was legitimately thinking about that.
Nothing.
Why?
Don't worry about it.
Where? It's not even in
Nope.
Discord. What did we write?
I made it small.
I don't get it, but
You'll know if you watch the video.
sorry. So that distraction aside, as I'm trying to remember how this works again. There we go. Slam.
Set up, boys be boys.
Oh, I got a better idea.
All right. All right, so that's going to be a hit. And yeah, so he is knocked down as well. So,
Ah, shit. I can't fit it. Arrgh.
have you
I
zoomed in as
have-
far as you can? And reduced
I
your
keep
pen
trying to
size?
do that. It keeps resetting. Ah, shit.
Dad.
God damn it.
Now,
Alright, fuck.
it's back around to top of the initiative, where the first one to act is currently tased. And he fails to resist, so he is now lying on the ground, spasming. The, Livia,
Yes, sir.
oh dear. So, on your turn, you, I assume, intend
Go to sleep,
keep
go
the
to sleep, go to
chokehold?
sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep.
I would note that you don't say anything because you're experienced at this sort of thing.
That's what I'm thinking.
So you are just semi-invisibly strangling him. He legitimately cannot see what is strangling him. It is terrifying. Lex, what do you want to do?
All right, so I still got maybe you might need to clarify something. It's my understanding that the cuff tape is like a roll of tape.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna hog tie this guy.
Okay. That will take a few turns, but you start hog tying him. All right. Sirlas is now going to. Sirlas pops open the door, like looks inside the door of the thing, and the car, and pulls out a windshield cover. I don't know if you have those down where you're at, but this is a cold climate you're in, and they sell these things in cold climates even today they're because they're a simple thing. It's just a sheet of like tough,
We've seen them.
like polymerized cloth you put over the top of outside of a windshield, and it keeps ice from forming on your windshield. If you take something like that and wraps it around the stunned officer's
Nice.
face, blindfold him. All right. He fails to recover. And the guy who's trying to break free is... Okay, I'm doing a little quick rolling here so that we don't have to go through multiple rounds of repeated contests, just trying to feel it out in advance. Okay, so neither of these folks, like, these are not like
Vets.
SWAT team officers. These are traffic cops. Like, their job is to enforce traffic laws. They're not combat trained, experienced people. They're not combat veterans. And the one on the ground is hogtied before he recovers from his spasming, which lasts for a good 20 seconds. He is going to be messed up for a couple of days because of that. And the other just passes out in less than, well under a minute, as he tries and fails to break free of Livia's chokehold. Cyrilos by now has switched off the lights and sirens, and Livia, you have some hacking to do. So, this task is made somewhat easier for you by the fact that you have 2 police badges, which have which can essentially scan you in to access the system. You pick up one of them. You are now you now have access to the system. What do you want to find out?
So here's the thing: we constructed this whole plan. I have no idea what we're looking for, except for maybe like looking up the cleaning service routes or something like that.
You're looking for the traffic citations from these suspicious delivery trucks that don't seem that if I understand correctly, and Loki can correct me here, that have business names that don't seem to be associated with actual businesses.
That is correct. You are looking for trucks that have been cited for not being properly licensed to businesses in the city. Especially looking for ones cited this way around Startown, where they might have been coming to or from the casino.
And if I don't have like any real world experience with how traffic citations are written up, but I would imagine they might have documented the routes that they were pulled over on or whatever. So
the location would have been the location and the things like the direction of travel would be included in that citation.
Right.
Yes,
So
in the report for the citation.
Yeah, so we can narrow it down to the citations that were on a route that would lead to or away from the casino.
And the objective of this is to give you some ideas of specific vehicles to look for and any patterns of time and place to look for more. Does that
Sure,
make sense?
I'll just do that. Whatever y'all just said.
I'm going to do whatever y'all just said.
Okay. So what I want then is the computer operations and computer programming.
All right, computer operations. Okay, and I don't know if she's done this in Lex's presence yet, but she'll like poke the back of her neck, and a little chip will fly out, and she'll slot in her computer. Well, which one was it? Programming. Okay.
Computer programming
Yeah,
tip
okay.
you're going to need.
So, computer operation. Okay. A success by 0 for the basic operation. So, I got it right on the money.
All right.
And for the actual
Yeah.
hacking portion, oh, very good. 7, that is a success by 5 for actually getting into their system.
All
and
right.
such.
So you are able to find the database of citations and quickly pull up a exact list of of closed body trucks cited for improper licensing within a reasonable radius of the Jack of Hearts, with the full, with all the information about those citations that you'd need. You then take and copy that information. Do you have any sort of removable data storage device?
That's one of the 700 million things that we didn't really consider. I have my computer, my actual like small computer.
All right. So Boss volunteers a small data storage
Okay.
chip to use for this. As you copy off this raft of
All right.
data.
There's something else before
Now,
you. Yes.
Is there anything else you want to
I'm
do?
going
While you're in
to
here.
just straight up engage in crime and try to grab any other information on, like, the idea here is she wants to see if they collected fines and figure out where they might have sent, like, police occupied cash deposits, like contraband. Yeah,
Contraband.
thank you. I was just looking for, I couldn't find the word. Like if they,
Oh, is it called contraband if it's
I
just
think
cash?
so, because it's like drug money and stuff is still contraband.
So you're trying to find out. Yes. Okay. So there is a central station for traffic police, and all that sort of stuff, which would be considered as considered evidence at the point in time that it's seized, is apparently bound for indexing there.
Cool.
To be indexed for charges to be filed, or otherwise
To grab
disposed
the
of
address
if charges aren't filed.
and any other.
Sure, that is something that you could probably find out just with the equivalent of a Google search,
Cool.
but you do have it now. Now, is there anything else you want to do while you have access to
I'll
this
poke
system?
my head out the window. Anything else, y'all?
I look at.
Do you want to give
I look at
yourself
Zero.
a set of false acts? Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying I look at Siru because I can't think of anything.
Do you want to give yourself a full set of access, your own set of access credentials, so we don't
Ooh.
have to mug an officer and take their badge next time we need to access
Sure,
the
if I
system?
can do that.
I'm-
Oh,
I
I
mean,
am
this was
hacking.
kinda
Of course I
fun.
can do that right now.
Give me another computer operations and a computer
Oh my god,
program.
but I'm already in the system. Can I just do the hacking? Okay, well, it's fine.
No.
Yeah, because this is a different operation altogether.
Okay, that is another on the
Each.
money. Success by 0 on the first one. Just right. I keep rolling 11s. There's my hacking.
Well, as long as all your
Yeah.
skills are 12s, rolling 11s is fine.
Okay, it's a lower success, but it's still a success by 2 for the hacking.
All right. So, you are able to create for yourself a set of access credentials that you could use anywhere you're able to either remotely or directly log into the system. So if you can get to an online terminal, online website,
Nice.
as it were, for this system, you could potentially log in. Now, you're not certain if this will hold up to any detailed scrutiny. So it's possible that at some point this will just go away, and you won't even know until you try to use it. But you have a set of credentials.
My thought is it's going to be like a
And-
one-use kind of situation where once I use it and do a crime with it, it's probably going to be immediately flagged. That's kind of my thought. This is like a one-time use situation.
So you've got that.
Like checking into the
Yeah, for
evidence
example.
office.
Wow. I shouldn't have been surprised that just random acts of larceny were going to be the group's MO. I should have guessed, given all the other thief-related things that
Technically,
one of these players in particular does. But
technically, I don't know what Livia is up to. I only know that she was in there.
I
to
know
get the
that they don't
citations.
know.
yes, I know. And Livia, as the player, I should have expected to be more fixated on opportunities to rob random strangers than pursuing the plot.
I mean,
Yeah,
to be fair,
Lydia came into this with no idea what information they actually needed, but they did already have a plan for how to steal.
You know
large
me
amounts
so
of money.
well.
to be fair, they're cops.
I don't know that that's a good. To be clear, me knowing that automatically is not a good thing.
I'm
To
just
try
saying
to
it's a
surprise
victimless
you
crime.
once in a while.
I'm just saying it's a victimless crime.
No, not if the evidence that you took prevents somebody who actually committed a serious crime from being convicted.
It's okay. They'll wake back up later.
That
Oh,
too.
can I do one more thing?
You can
Can
certainly
I
try.
erase
What do you
some
want to do?
fines from the last 24 hours that they've incurred on people?
Erase some
Yeah.
citations that they've issued? Give me one more computer operations and one more computer programming check.
All right. Okay. Oh, that's high. That is a failure by 3, depending on whatever bonuses.
All right. So, attempt, but apparently, the account that you are, the badge number for the officer that you are using as credentials is not authorized
They
to
got me.
perform those tasks.
Time to go,
So-
y'all. Time to go.
You are. Not that your other set of credentials is messed up, but it's that the badge that you've lifted is not authorized. So you can't find any way to actually do that, any way to actually reach that from here. So, at this point, Cyrilos asks, are we just sort of leaving these people here, or what? Are we just leaving these people here, or what?
I'm fine with that.
Put one of them in the trunk. Hide the keys so that the other one has to fumble around looking for it. Wasting time to get him
I
out.
put the keys under the passenger seat because that's where the things go into oblivion. Drop your sunglasses. You no longer have sunglasses.
Very good. Very good.
There we go.
And then you folks beat a retreat back to your ship? Question mark?
Have you ever seen an old movie called Men at Work?
Nope.
Starring
I've not.
Emilio Estevez and
Nope.
Charlie Sheen.
The only pop culture Men at Work I know of
Is the song.
and no, that's not a song. It's a band.
Yeah,
That come from the land down under.
yeah. Never
Good
mind
song.
then. I'm going to reference a very specific thing that these guys did to a pair of cops. That was a running gag throughout the movie, but disregard.
Beat feet.
That. So, you folks beat feet back to your ship, and as far as you can tell, you at least at this point, you looks like you pulled this off. You might want to be careful about encountering that particular police officer that you shot with an electrolaser. But
It was kind of
as
dark,
far as
right?
you
It was kind of dark, and I surprised him.
you have a reasonable chance, it is a reasonable hope that you got away with it. Especially since everybody involved had gloves and such on, didn't leave good DNA evidence or blood or anything.
I literally don't
to-
have fingerprints.
Precisely.
That was awesome. Olivia does like a success kid fist bump.
So-
Like, hell yeah, y'all.
I immediately light up a cigar when we get on board the ship.
Cyrilos gives you a dark look and goes to pour drinks. So,
I tip, when she looks at me that way, I just tip my hat.
someday I'm going to scorch a nice little hole in that hat.
It's got fancy
Hey, y'all,
tech.
once
I can
we're
fix
done
it.
with this particular job, I have another money-making opportunity. Just throwing it out there.
That's when it clicks. Why it took so long? Yeah, I bet you do.
Big smile, big grin.
Respectfully, this is about as far as we know, these police aren't corrupt.
I don't care.
So I don't,
Well,
but
there might,
I
there
do,
might be,
and if you want my help, good.
there might be at least one cop on the take, but that's
I'm sure
it's got
there
nothing to do with
is.
us.
I'm sure there is, but I prefer. Let's just put it this way: in our line of work, it's wise not to go alienating local law enforcement unless they deserve it.
Of course, of course.
I roll.
So, Livia might want to sit on that
That's
until
what I
after
said.
the
That's
job.
how I opened the conversation.
I
So
missed that bit. I was
you bring up the back aboard the ship. You plug in that little data chip that Cyrilos lent you, one from the ship's supply, and plug it into the ship's computer. Extract all that data you've received, and you now have a whole branch of data from which to try and draw patterns or specific bits of information. The question is, What do you
Do you have an onboard VI that can do that?
so does the ship have a research subroutine? Like research software of its own? I would say that generally we've established the ship isn't equipped with research as a skill. However, you have a party and you potentially have a lot of time for multiple people to be performing research roles, taking as much time as you like. And so either yet tonight, if you want to burn the midnight oil, or tomorrow morning, you could take a load of time to get a net +5 to your research roll to get around the IQ
perfect.
-5 default that you'd be fighting, and have the whole crew work together across a whole workday, essentially, to try and put together, like, see what clues you can extract from all this information.
My implants, yeah.
Does that sound like?
In response to Lex's thing, Livia's implants aren't really that level.
That was
okay.
It was a joke.
It looks like a legitimate question considering what he just saw her do. Because I think I only did that once before, and I don't know if he was present for it.
I don't know that we're necessarily on a limited timetable yet, so I don't mind staying up a little late to do a little bit of research.
Joke's on you, I'm an insomniac, so I'm going to be staying up late anyway.
Don't you got to roll for that like every day or
3
something?
days the GM does.
Oh, okay.
Every
That's what it
third
says.
day?
GM secret
how I
rolls.
remember.
Oh, 3 dice for the number of days between episodes. So I don't know how long.
Yes,
and
and
I don't know
have
how
done
long.
that. You don't know how long it's going to be, but I do.
He's got a Google Doc somewhere labeled Livia's next meltdown.
So, I don't really have computer skills.
Which is weird for someone who's got a computer, carrying around a computer in his
do.
torso. But you know,
I'll help.
Well, that's just like an extra brain. I just think stuff, and it happens. It's not the same thing.
her last rolled her eyes once again.
I have lots of computer stuff.
So all of you should have computer operations.
I do.
Right?
I do.
No,
Why do you
I
not
did
have the computer operations skill?
I did not know that it existed when I created this character.
Okay, so I'm gonna put one of the character points from this session into computer operation.
Yeah, I can do
This is
that.
sort of an everyman skill. Most of the time, it isn't. You're not gonna have to be rolling computer operation to do this task. But difficult tasks under duress, or hacking, like there are situations where you will be rolling against it, and it's also one of the situations where if you have it, there are things you can just do. If you don't have it, there suddenly are things that you maybe cannot do.
Is that basic set
Or
or
have
ultra,
to
ultra tech?
Basic set, just
Okay.
computer operation.
I mean, I could technically just throw it in there right now.
Go ahead. So, what I'm going to want is for everybody to give me a straight IQ roll, unless you have the research skill.
Ew, gross. I failed.
By how much?
By 1 if it's intelligence. And that's what... I don't have the
Okay.
research skill. Well, you said it negates. Because we're chilling.
You are... So, IQ -5 is the default for research. You are taking essentially an 8-hour workday to research,
Okay.
because that is enough. That's enough time, longer than the base time for the task, to make it a
Okay,
plus, to give
okay.
you a +5, the maximum bonus you can get for taking extra time.
Could technically take research right now
Well,
too.
failure by.
Go ahead. You've already used it. You used it the other day. And that would allow you to make a research +5 roll. Which is, frankly, the sort of thing, like, having the research skill would really help fill out currently the biggest gap of our bounty hunting team.
Yeah.
Uh, which is just ability to do something useful with the evidence you find.
So am I doing a computer operation as well, or just the research?
No, you just need to have computer operations.
Okay.
You're using a computer as your tool. But now, just give me a
Fail
research
by
check.
1.
And it's research +5, because you guys are spending an 8-hour workday late into the night on
So
this.
my target is a 17, because it's 12 right now.
Yeah.
That's success by a whole bunch.
Success by
Damn.
9. And Cyrilos also rolled pretty well. So, as by the dawn's early light, dawn is indeed just starting to break as you folks reconvene. This time on back in the ship's lounge, to share your findings. Livia, you are glum, disappointed, and
More
bored,
bored than anything else.
having failed to find anything of use, and this just raft of information. However, Cyrulos looks like she's got something she's thinking about as she enters, and the captain looks positively jubilant, if it's possible for someone who's missing most of their face to express jubilance.
My faceplate is glowing.
And, Captain, here is what you found, and share with the class. So, vehicles come into town from one place. There is a shipping center outside that's about 200 kilometers north of here. Now, it's a small town that mostly has like packing plants and that sort of thing, kind of factories and such that make food and whatnot to support this town. And there's a lot of the traffic of these trucks seems to be coming from the highway leading to that town. You're almost certain that there's going to be a warehouse or other packing facility somewhere in that town where these suspicious trucks are coming and going from. You also observe that they almost always depart about almost exactly 24. Okay, so they'll arrive in an afternoon usually, and then they will depart late morning the following day. And the real jackpot, as far as you can tell from the photographic information available, the exact cleaning supplies truck, cleaning service truck that your crew members spotted suspiciously heavy entering the casino's parking ramp has previously been sighted
Nah.
twice on almost this exact pattern. You are almost certain that that vehicle is what you'd be looking for.
I say all that,
Checks box.
but more southern like, more country western like.
So, with that, of all the places you could have gone for a clue, I really didn't expect you to decide to target the police instead
How long
of
have you
the
known us?
criminals. But it did bear fruit.
That was a good suggestion.
I mean,
It's
the fact
works.
that it was the most direct path to information, notwithstanding, they are cops.
I mean, if we wanted to spend a session with Livia spending like 5 days looking around around the outside of a casino, we could do that.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, I was honestly thinking that
I'll
we
be
would
honest,
have
I
to-
was expecting you to just say, okay, we saw this truck go in. I wonder if we can sneak up on the truck while it's there
Yeah.
and take a look at it.
I was thinking about that. I was also thinking about just like posting up on different sides of the casino, the three of us, and just spending like a day or two observing incoming and outgoing traffic and forming our own like list that we just got from the cops.
Mhm.
I was prepared to do like a montage set
Yeah.
of roles for that.
Well, this was much more
Yeah.
interesting.
It was way
Yeah.
more interesting. And,
Yeah.
and that
And-
could
And on this
potentially-
planet, at least, it's generally fine. I do want to warn you just a bit that just generally assuming that the police are the bad guys is not going to fit this. Like your characters are gonna find themselves misjudging the nature of the setting
I know. I
somewhat
know.
regularly.
The
Like
traffic cops
because-
are not hurt. They're not beating people or ripping people out of their homes. I know
Right.
that.
so,
the way I see it,
Right.
the way I see it, I'm either going to make an enemy in Tammy, or I'm going to end up taking her out on a date.
Okay. Not if she finds out that we just beat the shit out of 2 cops.
I am a charming Southern man.
Okay.
the lower half of you is the upper half is
I am a
an
charming.
assembly of misplaced ironworks.
I am a charming Southern robot.
Oh dear. Anyway, with that out of the way,
And I'm fully
I
functional.
think we're going to pause there. With you folks able to take a little time and decide what you want to do with this clue, and talk amongst yourselves about what kind of a strategy, what's the next step. So we will get back together. Is there anything else we want to discuss before our
XP.
session ends? Right. So this was a standard length session. We started at about quarter after, and it has been 2 hours and 5 to 10 minutes. So this will be a 2 character point session.
As a
Um,
final point is I'm not an investigator. I don't really know what to do with this information other than go to the warehouse. I am still, as a player, not entirely sure how this relates to our guy. I've kind of lost the plot a little bit.
Okay. So let me fill that in. So you know that Yasif Khan was upset when he found out that there was someone here with a warrant out for your target. And he sent a couple of his thugs to rough up on you, try and figure out what, via the engineer, what you people knew, and maybe try and convince you not to, like, quote unquote, convince you not to keep, not to hang around and stay
Okay.
involved in this. And so you have a strong suspicion that, based on that and the information you got from interrogating the two prisoners you took, you have a strong suspicion that whatever Yaseth Khan's game is, it involves Orlando Navarro, and that is the best lead you
Okay,
have right
I
now
kind
on
of
where
get it.
Navarro is. So the hope is that if you keep shaking this Yaseth Khan tree, sooner or later, Orlando Navarro will
Okay.
fall out.
All right, I get it. He might end up being in one of the locations that we keep visiting. Is kind of
Might, and if he isn't, you might find a person there who can tell you something more useful than anybody you found
cool.
so far.
All right, I'm on board.
Because that's why you're chasing Yasef Khan's racket. Because the theory, your best guess so far is if you shake that particular tree enough, eventually what you need might fall out of it.
Okay, cool. I'm on board.
So, all right.
And
Very
with
good.
that, yeah.
All right. So that leaves us. Yeah. So with that, we will end our recording.
Beep boop. GG.